Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my video recipes. In this recipe I'll show you how to make 4 beautiful steamed steak puddings. These savoury classics are filled with tender chunks of steak in a rich flavourful gravy, all wrapped in a light and fluffy leek pastry, made with all butter instead of the traditional beef suet, which I know a lot of people can't get hold of. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website, and the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. I'll begin by making the leek pudding pastry. Start by thoroughly washing your leeks and cut them into small pieces. If you can't find leeks where you live, you can use spring or green onions instead, but if you can get them, leeks are definitely better and more traditional in this recipe. Next to prepare is the liquid for this recipe, so add the egg to the milk and give it a good mix. Now set that aside for now. On to sifting the flour. This pastry calls for 225 grams, that's 8 ounces of self-raising flour. If you don't have the bought stuff, just add 2 teaspoons of baking powder to the same amount of plain or all-purpose flour. To give these puds an extra lift, add another teaspoon of baking powder. Now sift that into a large bowl. Push any lumps through with your fingers. Time to add the cold butter. FYI, make sure everything is cold in this recipe. Normally beef suet is used here, but like I said earlier, not everyone can find beef suet. So we're making this one with all butter instead. Using your fingers, rub the butter into the flour. Work quickly before the butter has time to warm up too much. In real time, this takes about 3 to 4 minutes to do. Also, try to leave some of the pieces of butter a little bit bigger, like this one, but don't worry if you can't, it'll still be good. Once the butter has been rubbed in, you can add the chopped leeks and quickly toss them into the mix. You can now add the liquid to the bowl, and using an ordinary dinner knife, cut the mixture together as shown. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal and Super Thanks supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Once it's roughly mixed, swap to your bowl scraper and bring it all together. Make sure you scrape down any flour that's stuck to the sides of the bowl as you go. Once you're happy with it, give it a light dusting of flour. Cover the bowl, another great use for your shower cap. Now get that into the fridge for at least 30 minutes before using it. For the steak filling in these puds, I'll be making it from scratch, but you can cheat if you want and use a can of stewed steak. This one is very good and reasonably cheap too. I've used it many times when pushed for time. Right, get a large frying pan on a high heat and add the olive oil. For the meat in this recipe, I'm using this cut called beef bavette, also known as flank or skirt beef. It has a coarse grain and marbling of fat throughout, which makes it the perfect stewing beef for making pies. Once the oil's hot, add the beef to the pan and start to brown it off. Toss and stir the beef until all sides are brown. This will take approximately 4 to 5 minutes in real time. And once brown, add the meat to a medium-sized saucepan, along with any juices that's left in the frying pan. At this point you can add sheep kidney to the mix if you want to make steak and kidney puddings, but my lot aren't keen on kidney. Now you can add the beef stock. If you don't have any natural beef stock, you can use 1 or 2 beef stock cubes instead. Time to season the filling with black pepper and salt. Give it a quick taste and that's fine. I'm adding a couple of small bay leaves. These give the filling a great flavour. Once it's boiling, add the final ingredient, which is a tablespoon of tomato puree. Tomato puree or tomato paste really goes well with stewed beef, and it gives the filling a wonderful rich colour. Right, that's it for now. Turn down the heat and get the lid on the pan and allow it to slowly simmer for 1 hour. Right, once the time's up, your meat should now be nice and tender. First job is to remove the bay leaves. And now it's time to thicken the beef filling. Mix the corn flour, you may know that is cornstarch, with a little cold water. Now add a little at a time to the filling, until you reach the required thickness as shown. And that's it, your steak pudding filling is done. But you must let it completely cool before using it in the puddings. And once again, to make life much easier, you can use canned stewed steak for a much quicker method. And FYI, I'm not being sponsored at all by this company. Right, I'll get that covered and let it completely cool. Time to prep the pudding moulds. If you want to follow the recipe exactly, these 4 moulds are on sale in the website store. Link is in the description box below the video. You'll also need 4 small sheets of parchment or greaseproof paper. Sizes are on screen. First job, make an expansion pleat in the middle of the paper as shown. Using one of the moulds, form the paper into the rough shape that you need. Also, you need 4 small elastic bands to hold the paper in place in the steamer. Finally, grease each of the moulds with a little lard or butter. One other job you can get out the way now is to make up the egg wash. Crack a large egg into a container, add a dash of milk and whisk vigorously until it runs off the whisk as a loose liquid. On to rolling out the pastry. I've divided the pastry into 4 equal pieces. Give the worktop a dusting of flour. Form one of the 4 pastry pieces into a flat disc, then give it a light dusting of flour. For rolling out the pastry, I'm using our very own adjustable stainless steel rolling pin with the 3mm or 1/8 spacer attached. Just roll out the pastry until the guides hit the bench. It really couldn't be easier. And FYI, our pie making bundle special offer is still on sale in the website shop if you're interested. Link below. Once your pastry's been rolled, you need to cut out the right size circle. And if you have our 19-piece large cutters, you'll need number 8 and 16. The actual sizes that you need are on screen. Right, cut the large circle out first. Now take the surplus pastry and form it into a small disc. Dust it with flour, roll it out, and using the small cutter, cut out the lid of the pudding. Right, I'll put one of these puddings together from start to finish. Centre the larger of the pastries over the tin and gradually coax it down a little at a time into the greased mould. Make sure you leave a little bit sticking over the edge of the mould. You can use a small piece of pastry to push it right down into that tin. OK, grab your now cold beef filling and place a couple of dessert spoons into the mould. Fill it to just below the lip of the mould. Try not to overfill as it will expand some when cooking. Give it a few taps to lift any air bubbles. Now get your egg wash and brush around the lip of the pastry. Brush a little more around the edge of the lid too. Now place the pastry onto the mould. Now this is the crucial bit. Gently nip the pastries together and at the same time fold it over towards the centre. This creates a good seal. Clean up around the lip of the tin. Give the top a good coat of egg wash, being careful not to get any egg wash between the tin and the pastry. Place your paper on top and secure it with the elastic band, or you can use kitchen twine if you wish, but string is a bit fiddly to attach. Believe me, it's much easier to use elastic. And there you go, that's one completely prepared. And here's all 4 ready to go into the steamer. Now my steamer is quite small, so I'll use both steam pans with 2 puddings in each one. Okay, get them onto the steamer. Turn the heat down to low. Remember, the meat is already cooked. We're just concentrating on getting the leek pastry cooked correctly. Now allow those to steam cook for 30 minutes. And while those wonderful steak puddings are steaming, I hope you don't mind if I give my brand new 5th recipe book a quick shout out. This latest release features 12 all new bread recipes not found in any of my previous 4 books, along with even more recipes for air fryers, pies, cakes and desserts. The book also includes interactive elements such as QR codes linking directly to step-by-step video tutorials for each recipe. And you'll find links for all 5 books in the description below the video. Right, time's up on the puddings, and they've risen and cooked nicely. So time to get them off the steamer. Okay, using your kitchen tongs, carefully lift them out and onto a wire rack. Now give those a few minutes to relax and settle. And when I come back, we'll get one of them out of the mould and let you see what they're like on the inside. Right, time to try one out. Start by cutting the band or twine off and carefully lift off the paper. And the aroma from that beef filling and the leek pastry really is mouth-watering. Make sure the top edge isn't stuck anywhere. Tip the pudding upside down on the serving plate. Now lift the tin off the pudding. It should come straight off, like so. Perfect. From our work kitchens, we would normally serve this with mashed potato or chips and peas, with 2 veg at the side and lots of beef gravy. Right, I'll cut one open and let you see how we did. And that looks absolutely amazing. Time for a taste. And oh yes, that pastry is soft and light with the flavour of those leeks coming through, and that beef filling is out of this world. Absolutely delicious. There's no other word for it. An outstanding recipe that'll be on your keeper lists forever, guys. Massive thumbs up for this one. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Jasmine Rivera, Paul Dancy, Dr. Paul, Jens K3250 and Sarah Jones. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.